Have you ever wondered what makes a story truly resonate? Today I'll take you behind the scenes of my own short films and show you how I try to create moments that connect deeply with the audience. Hey, it's the Dreamer Jose. I'm a creative director who's passionate about storytelling. And today in this video, we're going to look at my own short films and some of the scenes in there and how I played around with some things to try to tell a really good story. So let's go into the first clip. The first clip is from my first short film, or actually my second short film in chronological. Yeah, my second short film is called Prairie Be Prey. So let's take a look at it. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up, so that everyone who believes in him may have eternal life. For God loved the world in this way, he gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world.
So, this is what's in the Bible?
Yeah.
Who knew hope like that existed?
Did you hear that?
Yeah. You guys go and hide. They're after me. You guys just hide. I'll escape out the back. All right, go. So in this particular scene, something that I did that anyone can really do is to create tension through contrasting emotions. And in this specific scene, we see the contrasting emotions really brings that tension to a new level. As you can see, one of the characters is calm while reading, and the other one, or the bad guys in this short film, are getting ready to infiltrate. And so the chaotic moments of them getting ready to infiltrate versus the calm demeanor of the one reading the book really creates this this emotional push and pull, where it's like calm, but then it's like uh-oh, calm, but then uh-oh, and that really keeps your audience engaged and curious. So you can use contrasting emotions to make the tension in any given scene like this one feel more real and gripping. So I guess you could combine someone who's deep in thought with like a busy street of people walking around them, cars running by, while they're just deep in thought. Or like, let's say for example, I see a subway system where someone's just standing there waiting for the subway, just thinking, and there's a bunch of people getting on and off of the subway car moving by. And so that's a way you could use the contrasting emotion. Have something that's reserved while you have something else that's like high energy. But that's a good tip for you to use. So let's get into the second one. Shoulders, each choice sprinkled with the possibility of disaster. My bad, I'm sorry to just go on like that. Just know I love you and I miss you both. I tell my little Rose that Daddy will be home soon, okay? So in this one, we see that there's symbolism used to deepen the emotional impact. And in this scene, you see that he pulls out a photograph of I guess his family. Well, not I guess, I wrote the story, I know it's his family. But he pulls out the photograph, and you can see that in him, through his emotional portrayal, you can see that there's some sort of pain there, or something that hits you in a way. And a great way for you to deepen that emotional impact is to use symbolism, whether that be a picture, whether that be a book or a message or a letter, and you can use that. So instead of explaining a character's feelings, the object becomes a focal point, and it allows the audience to interpret and feel the weight of that moment. So that's what I used in this specific scene. And a practical tip you could use would be to identify an object, such as the photo in the story, that can potentially represent something deeper, and it could be used to tie in either the character's past, a relationship, or a decision, or even foreshadow. So you can use symbolism to really strengthen or deepen an emotional impact that you want to push throughout your storytelling. Let's look at this next clip. All right, let's play. It's easy. See, I told you. Check it out. Go handle that. I got this. Another thing you can do is build suspense, but like with subtle details. You see in this clip, the scene draws in your attention by focusing on that subtle, hand movement rather than like overtly dramatizing what's going on in the scene. And it's those small deliberate movements that can really, make the tension real and palpable. So it'll help you grab your viewers' attention and leave them on the edge. But what you can do in your own storytelling is that you can focus on small deliberate actions to create that suspense, and you let the audience wonder what this character is thinking or planning. For example, if somebody was getting ready to draw their gun, instead of you telling it or whatever, you would show just a subtle hand movement reaching for under a shirt or in a bag or in their back. It'd be just so subtle, and it'll give you enough to let the audience know something's about to happen and leave them on the edge. On to the next one. Play.
All right, so what's the plan?
All right, so there should only be one guard on post at the entrance. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go and grab a rock, find a rock, grab it, then I'm gonna throw it, and when he gets distracted and looks away, you're gonna come up behind him.
I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna shoot him.
What?
I'm gonna shoot him.
Huh? No, you're not gonna shoot him. You don't do that anymore. You're a changed person.
You're right, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab the rock, right? When I grab the rock, throw it, he's gonna like get distracted and look away, and that's when you're gonna come up behind him.
I'm gonna stab him. Because I'm not killing him.
We're not hurting. We're not
hurting them.
No. We're just trying to get him out of the way.
Okay.
Neutralized
I thought
and
that
out of the way.
Get them out the way.
In this scene, you see that we humanized conflict by using the two characters' relationships. And it really works. In this scene, the conflict feels personable and relatable because it's grounded in the relationship between the two characters. So instead of focusing on external stakes, it shows how the characters in this specific short film have bonded over, the testing of their faith. And it really gets you as an audience, or the audience, engaged and emotionally invested when you're able to develop characters and really strengthen their relationships. It makes it feel more personable. What you can try to do in your own short films is to have your conflict impact your characters' relationships. And so your conflict could maybe develop one of your characters into a hero, and the other character could develop into an anti-hero or a villain. And so it would ground the conflict in a relationship and make it feel more personable and relatable, thus grabbing your audience's attention and really getting them invested in who these characters are. So next clip. Play. So in this one, this is my favorite thing to do, not because it's a personal style, but because it's based on budget. But it can really help you in storytelling. And it's really to just leverage the use of your natural settings or lighting, using that natural atmosphere. You sometimes often hear less is more. And specifically in this scene, a natural setting can be just as powerful as an elaborate or set up setting if you use it specifically and intentionally. And in the scene, you see the use of the simplicity, the real settings, the real trees, the real buildings, and the real lighting really makes the story feel authentic and natural. I think there's still an element of, when you're doing short films, an element of having authenticity to it, because there's just that thing that our eye and that our heart knows when we're watching is real and when it's not real. And it's the distinction that you can make between the two. And so sometimes it is really good to use natural lighting or, you know, natural atmosphere. It also helps you on your budgets. If you don't have a big budget, which we didn't have in these short films, it really helped us hone in on those storytelling aspects, is where we're not controlling lighting, we're not controlling settings sometimes, but we can take advantage of what it can offer us and help us build something stronger and more engaging. On to the next clip. Be kind to yourself. You'll face many challenges, but don't be too hard on you. Learn, forgive, and grow. Time's running out. Listen, you must lose your life in order to find it. In time, you'll fully understand what that means. But for now, I've got to go. Take care, kid. All right, so I said it in the last one. I'll reword it so it's not the same. The last one's cliffhanger. This one, I'm gonna say, let's leave room for interpretation. So at the end here in this clip, we see that it kind of leaves on a question mark. And so by leaving, you know, some of these elements unresolved, you actually can see in the scene, it keeps the story alive. You want your audience to be engaged, and this encourages your audience to deeply think about the story and what could potentially happen next. This sparks creativity and curiosity for you, the storyteller, and curiosity for the audience, because now they want to know what happens next, and you kind of have an endless way of ending the story. You can really just try whatever you want. So, you know, not every question needs an answer, and sometimes leaving room for interpretation, like we did here, can make your story even more impactful. So avoid over-explaining things. Don't over-explain things. Like I said in the last one, you can always come back and add on, but you can't take away if you overdid something. So let certain elements remain open-ended so the audience can draw their own conclusions. It makes it more engaging to the audience. You know, these Easter egg videos or reaction videos and people guessing what might happen, and I love seeing those sort of things, because that means the person that created this story or whatever they watched has left them so hooked to where they're just like grasping for something. They want something, and that's where you want to have them. And so remember, storytelling isn't just about what you say, it's about how you make people feel. And I want to encourage you who are doing your own short films, start small and just practice on the fundamentals. It's almost like any sport. You start with the fundamentals and you build from there once you have a solid foundation. So until the next one, maybe in the next video, I can show you how to create short films or storytell on a budget, because that's what I do all the time. So if you would like to see that, thumbs this video up, subscribe, comment if you want to. You don't have to, but oh yeah, click this video right here. YouTube thinks it's really good for you, so who am I to tell the algorithm what to do? Until then, peace.